I was my father's beloved son. Yes, I knew it. My father, Jacob, gave me a coat of many colors, rich, beautiful, impossible to ignore. It rested on my shoulders like a crown I did not yet understand. But favor can be dangerous when others are watching. My brothers saw the coat. They saw the love. And they hated me for it. Then came the dreams. I dreamed of sheaves of grain bowing to mine. I dreamed of the sun, moon, and stars bowing before me. I did not know wisdom yet. I told them, and their hatred grew teeth. Sometimes God shows you your destiny before He shows you the process, and the process can feel like destruction. One afternoon, my father sent me to check on my brothers. I went with obedience in my steps. I did not know I was walking toward betrayal. When they saw me coming, they did not see a brother. They saw a threat. They stripped my coat. That coat, the symbol of love, torn from my body. They threw me into a pit. It was dry, cold, echoing. I remember shouting, begging. The sky above the pit looked small. Their faces circled the edge, hard, unmoved. Then they sat down to eat while I wept. And in that darkness, I asked God the question many of us ask. Why show me dreams if this is my reality? But heaven was silent, not absent, just silent. I heard camels before I saw freedom. Midianite traders passed by. For 20 pieces of silver, my brothers sold me. Their blood, their brother, sold. I watched them count the coins, and I learned something that day. People can betray you and still go home to sleep. But God was writing a story bigger than their choice. In Egypt, I was sold again, this time to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. I was a slave, a foreigner, a nobody. But even there, the Lord was with me. That is what the scripture says. And I felt it. Not in loud miracles, but in small favor. Everything I touched prospered. Potiphar trusted me with his entire household. I was rising again. Maybe the dreams were not foolish after all. Then came the test no one applauds. Temptation. Potiphar's wife desired me. She pursued me daily. Her words were sweet, but her intentions were poison. No one was watching. I could have justified it. I was alone. I was wounded. I deserved something, but I said no. How could I do this great wickedness and sin against God? She grabbed my garment as I ran, and lies spread faster than truth. I was accused, arrested, thrown into prison for doing the right thing. And I learned something painful. Obedience does not always prevent suffering. Sometimes it leads straight into it. Iron bars replaced palace walls, chains replaced robes. But something inside me refused to die. Even in prison, the Lord was with me. The keeper entrusted me with responsibilities. I served again. Faithfulness in confinement. One night, 2 prisoners had dreams. Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker. They were disturbed. I told them what I had learned long ago. Interpretations belong to God. And God spoke again. One would be restored. One would be executed. Both came true. Before the cupbearer left, I asked one small thing. Remember me. He forgot. 2 years passed. 2 years of silence. 2 years of wondering if the dreams had expired. But forgotten by men is not forgotten by God. One morning, Pharaoh dreamed troubling dreams. None could interpret them. Then suddenly, memory returned to the cupbearer. There is a Hebrew in prison. And just like that, I was shaved, dressed, and brought before Pharaoh. From prison to palace in a single day. When Pharaoh told me his dreams of fat cows devoured by thin cows, full ears of grain swallowed by withered ones, I knew what God was saying. 7 years of abundance, 7 years of famine, and wisdom flowed through me. Store during plenty, prepare for scarcity. Pharaoh looked at his advisors and said, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" And he placed his ring on my finger, his chain around my neck. I became second in command over Egypt. The pit did not cancel the palace, it prepared me for it. The famine came. Nations starved, including Canaan. One day, men entered Egypt seeking grain. I recognized them immediately. My brothers, they did not recognize me. The boy in the pit was gone. I spoke harshly at first, tested them, watched their guilt surface. When they spoke of their father and my younger brother Benjamin, something inside me broke. Years of pain, years of silence, years of wondering why. And then, I could not contain it anymore. I sent everyone out, and I wept loudly. I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? Terror filled their faces. They expected revenge, but I saw something greater than their betrayal. I saw God's hand. You meant evil against me, I said, but God meant it for good, to save many people alive. In that moment, the pit made sense. The prison made sense. The delay made sense. Not because it was painless, but because it was purposeful. When my father came to Egypt, old and weary, I ran to him. I wept in his arms like the boy I once was. God restored what was broken. Not perfectly, but beautifully. If you ask me what sustained me, it was not strength, it was trust. Trust that the God who gives dreams does not abandon them. Trust that delay is not denial. Trust that betrayal cannot cancel destiny. Your pit may feel permanent. Your prison may feel forgotten. But if God is with you in the process, the palace will not destroy you, because character built in darkness can handle light. And sometimes, the very thing that tried to break you is what positions you to save others. I was betrayed. I was falsely accused. I was forgotten. But I was never forsaken. And neither are you.